how much of an upgrade will Malik Willis be over Tua in Miami?
It's tough to say and it's tough to compare because Tua has 76 starts under his belt. Malik Willis has 6 starts under his belt. So it's tough because there's not a huge sample size. But I will say this, obviously, the last couple of seasons, Tua has been struggling. Injuries have played a big factor, but he has regressed a little bit from those 2022, 2023 years. But Malik Willis, on the other hand, has started to ascend. And I really like what I've seen these last 2 years, being able to learn behind Jordan Love as a backup, being able to learn under Matt LaFleur in that offense in Green Bay. And we've seen, I went back last night and watched his tape again against the Bears when he had to replace Love and against the Ravens when he got a start. There's a lot to like on that film, man. He threw a seam ball against 2 high where it was a bender for a touchdown to Christian Watson against the Ravens. That was an absolute dot. Then he threw a little switch release go route to Dobbs down the sideline against the Bears. It was another dime. He can make all the throws on the field, both to his right and to his left, which is important. As a right-handed quarterback, you got to be able to throw to your left as well. I think his feet are very good in the pocket, especially when it comes to play action. He does a great job of selling the fake, getting his eyes back around. Like he was saying earlier, staying loaded in the pocket, short step, quick release. He can make those NFL level type of throws with the quickness and the arm talent that you need to make them. He's also very athletic. I was surprised, not surprised, but I didn't realize how good of a runner he was until I watched him on tape this year. He is so good in open space, making guys miss. He's so good in the pocket, has great awareness, knowing where the pressure is coming from, knowing when he's hot, knowing how to avoid the rush, things that he didn't do well in Tennessee in that situation. I know it's 2 different style of offenses, but now he comes to Green Bay and he's starting to excel at things that he struggled with early on in his career. And I'm always an advocate for giving guys opportunities and letting them develop instead of giving up on them early. And I think Malik Willis is a great example of that. I also love the way that he runs his zone read. He had a great 4th down pickup against the Bears, reading that defensive end, knowing when to give it, knowing when to pull it. Had a 22-yard touchdown run against the Ravens as well. When you have a quarterback that's 2-dimensional like that, you guys know, puts a lot of pressure on your defense, especially in 3rd down situations when everyone's covered. You lose sight of the quarterback, and he can take off and run. So I absolutely think Malik Willis deserves an opportunity to be a starter in this league. I think he would be, because of his trajectory right now, and obviously Tua with the injuries and everything, an upgrade from Tua, but without a huge sample size, I don't know how much of an upgrade it would be. One more thing to note that I think would be important and why he would work out with the Dolphins is now their offensive coordinator is Bobby Slowick, who comes from that Shanahan coaching tree. So it would be an easy transition for Malik Willis to go from LaFleur to Slowick, run the same type of scheme. Obviously, they mixed it up a little bit and put their own DNA on it. But either way, it would be easy for him to hit the ground running in OTAs in the offseason. It's just, are the Dolphins going to make a run for him? Because I do think they're going to be done with Tua Tagovailoa and move on from him. But, yeah, there's a lot to like there for Malik Willis. Again, it's just a small sample size, but he has a high ceiling and a lot of upside.
Hey, well, how many starts you said Malik Willis had?
Yeah, 6.
And 2 last year, right?
Yeah, 2 last year,
3.
1 year, and then 3 as a rookie.
Hey, I just can't say it's going to be a super upgrade, man. Yeah. I just really can't say it because if we talking about sitting in that pocket throwing that ball, he may have more arm strength than Tua, but bro, he's not going to be as accurate as Tua. Like we seen what Tua can do. You know what I'm saying? We seen Tua go to the playoffs with his guys when he was healthy. So I really can't say he's going to be an upgrade as far as throwing the ball around. I just can't say that. We're talking about 76 starts and 6 starts. So I can't say that. He will be an upgrade with what he brings to the table with his legs. I mean, we saw him be the leading rusher in his 2 starts last year or whatever, however many starts last year. He led the team in rushing in 2 of them. But is that what I really want from my quarterback? I ain't really looking for that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He lost 2 of those games. The game you talk about against the Bears, did he win it?
No.
The game you talk about against the Ravens, did he win it?
He played well in those games, though.
He win it, Cody.
No, but the Bears game, you can't act like there wasn't an onside kick and then a touchdown.
I'm talking about upgrades. I'm talking about a guy who came in, started 3 games, was 3-0, threw the ball. Like, I don't really, you feel me? You came in, you played well because we didn't think you was going to play that well, but you still ain't win the games. You ain't win those games. You ain't take over and send us to the playoffs on this uproar. Like, nah, they went into the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really say it's going to be too much of an upgrade. I think he is playing better. He is ascending from where he was his rookie year. He do bring a lot to the table with his legs, man. But, hey, man, if Tua ain't had that injury problem, you don't have to worry about tailoring a game plan not to get my quarterback hit. You could just run your shit because you got to tailor a game plan. If I'm like, oh shit, Tua might get, I can't do this. Like you got to really worry about Tua getting hit. So you got to tailor that game plan really, really to him not getting hit. I mean, you don't want none of your quarterbacks to get hit, but still, you got to really worry about that shit with Tua. So if he ain't had that injury problem, bro, I would say it's not going to be an upgrade. But he got that injury problem, man. So I can't see it being that much of an upgrade right now.
Go ahead, Skip.
You want me to go, TJ?
Yeah, sure.
So, Aqib, as you well know, Jeff Hafley, who you played under for a while, is the new head coach in Miami. And with him went John Eric Sullivan to be the new GM in Miami from Green Bay. So nobody's going to know Malik Willis better than those two.
Yep.
And I've just never been a Tua fan, and I was on the record before his draft. I think he had 5 different surgeries at Alabama before he got drafted, and hurt in college, hurt in pro football. And your arm is so below average. I know you can throw accurate balls, but it's just hard to overcome that soft of an arm. And obviously Mike McDaniel did for a little while, and they had some success. But to Cody's points, I watched Malik Willis a little bit when he was at Tennessee as a 3rd-round pick out of Liberty, and I would just flip on and off, and he was horrible because they were horrible.
Yeah.
And he was no touchdowns to 3 interceptions and 3 starts and went 1-2. And then last year, every time I watched him, and the one game that I watched from start to finish was the Baltimore game at Green Bay late in the year on the Saturday evening. And I got to tell you, Malik Willis was really, really good. I mean, really good. Where I always hang on to Aqib's favorite stat, which is QBR. He just forces it down my throat every show that we ever do. It's just QBR, QBR, QBR.
Wait a minute.
And if you look at Malik Willis in the 3 games he started for Green Bay last year, his QBRs were 85, 93, and then in the loss to Baltimore, 94. And that was when Tyler Huntley went crazy as his opposing quarterback. We had the 2 backups playing against each other. But in that game against the Ravens, Malik went 18 of 21 for 288, a touchdown, no picks, ran 9 times for 60 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it's
lost 41
and they lost
24.
41 to 24 as they lost.
41.
They did. Okay. I got it. And you're right. But I know it's a small sample size, but every time I watched him last year, he looked legit to me. He looked like he would be an upgrade, maybe not a huge, but an upgrade over Tua. And, he's listed at 6'1", 225. And I never thought he was that big. He doesn't seem to play that big, but if you're 225, you got some stature to you. And to Cody's point, when he did run the read option, he looked like, because I think he ran it at Liberty quite a bit. I think he can do that. And I think they could exploit that more. And he is easily,
Sure.
If Daniel Jones stays at Indy, which I assume he will, then if you want a quarterback, this is it. This is this is the best option on the market, and they should know. But I think they should try that. The problem is Cody knows full well, if you cut Tua before June 1st, it would be a record cap hit of $100 million in dead cap money.
Yep. And
if you wait until after, it's still 50 million if you spread it out 50 and 50. But then if you trade him, it's still 50 million. They screwed up, man. They screwed themselves.
Yeah,
they did. And like Cody said also about Howie would just say, "Oh, just eat it and start over." And I think with Jeff Hafley, they're just going to have to start over and say, "Let's try this." Mm-hmm. Is Malik Willis, can he be the next Sam Darnold? I don't know. I don't have enough sample size yet for that. But
he went toe to toe with the Bears.
Yeah.
Toe to toe with the Bears and lost in overtime, threw for 121.
Yeah,
we
but he was
see
played
You
club in
gotta
that
be
game.
careful with
Game.
the backup quarterback coming in with flashes of greatness.
exactly, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
The sample size is small. When teams start really preparing for these backups and knowing their,
Yeah.
habits, then all that breaks down a lot of times. And you don't want to give a backup all the time big money, and then now you really got to start all over. I say they keep Tua for one more year. Like I said a long time ago, I think he's top half of the league quarterback. He lost his number one last year, but barring catastrophic injury with them head issues, I think you bring back Tua on top of that cap space you talking about, man. That's a lot of money, $100 million. God,
A
dog.
lot of money.
So give it one more chance, and then if it doesn't work, now we're looking for a real fresh start with a quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
And we can start completely over. But you don't want to be in the Texan situations with a Brock Osweiler. No offense, he got us through what we needed him to get us through. But when it was time for him to take over a franchise, the ability just wasn't there. So I'm wary of that personally.
Yeah. I'm not a big Quinn Ewers guy. When he was at Texas, he never scared me rooting for Oklahoma. I don't know what you think, Cody, of Quinn Ewers. Do you think he's got a future?
Ain't he 30 already?
I watched him in Texas. I liked him in Sark's offense. I thought he showed a lot of flashes. It's still the same thing with Malik Willis in the NFL. It's just too small of a sample size, and you threw him in there when the team had pretty much checked out for the season. So you've got to see
that's true.
Real meaningful football to have a full, idea of who he can be, and then give him an offseason as a starter. But I don't think it's a bad idea to bring in Malik and have him compete with guys like Quinn and see who the guy that can. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have multiple quarterbacks that can compete, and then pick your guy. And going back to trading Tua and having all that money you're going to lose, the Broncos right now hold the current record, which I think was $85 million when they got rid of Russell Wilson. They're just one game away from the Super Bowl. So teams can still overcome that. Now, I know $100 million is a lot of money, and if you wait,
we got the richest owners in the league.
You still spread it out, but I mean, like I said, I don't know if he's the answer. It's a small sample size, but there is a lot of upside, and I think he could develop into being a starting quarterback in this league for sure.
I do too.
Hey, before we get up out of here, Bub, way to step up, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Way to go, TJ.